This morning, RFK officially filed the paperwork to withdraw.
See, this is that to me, is the biggest news we got right now.
Yes, I mean, he is withdrawn from the presidential contest, specifically in Arizona.
We know from his VP candidate, Nicole Shanahan, who really got all this rolling more than him.
Put up a couple statements. One, before we get to the one that's on the screen, this one was from last night, or maybe it was the night before. It said, "My old Democrat buddies have been flooding me with frantic calls, texts, and emails. I wouldn't dream of airing those private conversations publicly, but the message is clear. They're terrified of the idea of our movement joining forces with Donald Trump. When I point out what the Democratic Party and their super PACs have done to sabotage our campaign, their response is always, but Trump is worse. Here's an idea. Stop suing us. Let us debate. Quit rigging the media and the polls. It's a simple formula, people. Get with it." And then she also tweeted, she said, "Trump has had 6 court battles to fight during this election, while we have had 9 and counting across the country. By bringing these suits against political opponents, the Democrats bankrupt the underpinning of democracy. What the Democrats consider common course to win elections is the kind of normalcy, in quotes, that leads to famine, sickness, and civil war. This country is ready for administration that represents unity."
Throw aside RFK's national support, right? Let's just go to some swing states. So we'll start with Wisconsin. He's at 5%. If you actually look at Wisconsin right now for Trump, which is where, of course, the GOP convention was, Harris has got 1.5. So again, even if you don't get the full Kennedy 5%, but you get the 1.6%, you can win it. I mean, so even there, if you get less, you can win it. Could be slim, but you can win it.
It's a strategic move to have this happen right now. Could be a very important swing. Look, there was a lot of talk.
Go through the rest of these states, It's all the same. Whether Harris is up by 1 or 2, or it's tied, or Trump is up by 1 or 2, if you give Trump another 1 or 2, he takes the state.
Well, you have like even Georgia where it's actually Trump is up a little bit.
Yeah.
But just like, I mean, margin of error up, a couple
These
percent,
are all,
but still, that could really boost your entire thing. It's whether people who are behind RFK can get themselves to the polls to vote for Donald Trump.
Things.
What I think Kennedy has done really in the last 3 months is attract a totally different group. Attract a group with his video content, the content he's putting out online, that does go to that sort of conservative group that isn't that comfortable voting for Donald Trump, that doesn't feel great about that. So if he can take those people that he's won over, and I know plenty of them, who felt like he was the person they could go in and feel comfortable voting for. If he can get a couple of them over, it could be a huge deal and a big moment. And I think that this shouldn't be taken lightly if they can convince their base. Because again, that is sort of, remember Joe Rogan just a few weeks ago said, I think RFK is the only one who makes a lot of sense. Now he walked that back pretty quickly, but if he can turn those people onto a President Trump, it could be a really game changer.